Hello student, is our paper Physics of Semiconductor Devices from that uh, module 1, that is the properties of semiconductor, and topic today we'll discuss, that is excess carrier generation and recombination process in semiconductor material, that is a pure and extrinsic semiconductor material. Today's lecture will cover, because already previously for previous lecture we covered or we studied more about the mobility, then conductivity, resistivity, and current density equation. Now we have, by using that phenomenon, we have see here the carrier generation and recombination. When we provide external source of energy in terms of light or temperature, when electron grow from valence band to the conduction band, how there is electron hole be generated, and when it is become recombined, that process we'll see. In this especially we'll focus on the direct recombination process in this lecture, and next lecture we'll go about the indirect recombination process, also the carrier life we'll see, and we'll also go for the numericals. In generation and recombination process in semiconductor material, in which when electron go from valence band to the conduction band, when then who is remaining here, then when it is gets separated, then we are getting the when generated electron hole pair is generated, when electron go from valence band to the uh, conduction band, then electron hole pair is get generated, and instead of they get separated, if they become recombined, that is called as a radiative process, we'll see later on. It is become recombined, then it will be directly affect on your optical properties. Means generation and recombination process in semiconductor material directly affect on optical property, and especially in the ABC, in the photoluminescence property, it will affect. In thermal equilibrium relation, we know that number of electrons holes is Ni square, that is intrinsic semiconductor condition is valid. But if you excess carriers are introduced in semiconductor material in such a way that number of electrons and holes which are not equal but which is greater than that of intrinsic carrier concentration, then that become condition is a non-equilibrium. And this process is here introducing here excess carrier in your semiconductor material, in which your relation, or like the law of mass action, which is not valid, NP is become Ni square. That process is called as a carrier injection. And the most of semiconductor device operation by the creation of charge carriers in excess by thermal equilibrium values, and that's why it is very important to introduce a charge carrier, that is a minority charge carrier or majority charge carriers, which is in the semiconductor. And when thermal equilibrium condition, we know that Np is equal to Ni square. But when thermal equilibrium condition is a disturbed, means your Np is not equal to Ni square. And the process which exists or retain Np is equal to Ns square, then it is very important in the case of injection excess carriers in your semiconductor material, the mechanism which restore this equilibrium condition means Np is equal to Ni square, is a recombination of injected minority carriers with a majority carriers with in a such a way that it is become the law of mass action condition, Np is equal to Ni square. And due to this, during this process, when electron go from valence band to the conduction band, if it is a separate, when it's again come from your conduction band to the valence band, during that process it is emitted a photon, or it is in terms of dissipated as heat in the lattice. And when a photon is emitted, this process is called as a radiative recombination. Radiative recombination process is generally in which we are getting the good optical property, electron hole pair it gets separated instead of they become recombined. Otherwise it is called as a non-radiative recombination. At that your electron hole pair, instead of get they get more separated, they get recombined, and that time your optical properties decreases. And this recombination phenomenon we are classified in two processes, that is direct process and indirect process of recombination. Then direct recombination process is nothing but band to band recombination. Visually it is a band to band recombination process, which will important in the direct band gap semiconductor. In next module, in the starting we'll see what is the difference between direct band gap semiconductor and indirect band gap semiconductor. But here I'm telling about direct band gap semiconductor, in which your valence band and conduction band are exactly aligned in such a way that they're showing the good optical properties, or they have, instead of the recombine process, they having a good radiative processes there. For example, indium phosphide, gallium arsenide, cadmium sulfide, zinc oxide, or number of materials are there in the direct recombination process. Because this direct band gap semiconductor material is a very important, as I before I told, optical property is important, because when you go for the light emitting diode, then diode laser, at that time your optical property is very important. That's why direct band gap semiconductor usually used for that. That is indirect band gap semiconductor, in which your band alignment of valence band and conduction band is not exactly lined up. It is a disaligned. The alignment is exactly not there, and so that instead of there is a radiative emission, there is a non-radiative emission, so directly it will affect on its optical property. And those material like silicon, germanium, we cannot directly use for the where the optical property is essential. And first we will see the process, that is a direct recombination process. Here we consider direct recombination semiconductor material which is at thermal equilibrium. And when we provide thermal energy to the material, then vibration of lattice atom uh, will be caused, and so that your covalent bond become broken. And when this bond is broken, electron hole pair is generated, as we'll see when. And this process is called as a carrier generation, in which electron hole pair get separated. That is a generation rate. When electron hole pair is generated due to external factor, it is a thermal factor. We have light is also another factor, with light is instead another. GTH is the number of electron hole pair generated per centimeter cube per second, and which we will show in next figure. LC, direct recombination, generation and recombination of electron hole pairs. A, which is at thermal equilibrium, means we provide temperature to the material. And second one, under the emission of light, that is a photons incident. First figure, if you show electron which is from valence band to the conduction band, that is a GTH, means electron hole pair is generated. And instead of electron hole pair, if it is not get separated, then process is called as RTH, that is a recombination of electron hole pair. And TH represent here due to the thermal equilibrium. And then this recombination and generation process, if we see under thermal equilibrium condition, we showing a GTS must be equal to the recombination, so that the carrier concentration remains constant. That is means your NP should be equal to Ni square. Otherwise, it's become the non-equilibrium condition. And second, B figure, in which photons are incident. GL means a generation of electron hole pair due to the light. And then here, if you have same time, if you have GTH, that is due to thermal energy, then here electron hole pair which is generated, and R represent here recombination of your electron hole pair. And see here is the process. But when our topic is that excess carrier recombination and generation, when we excess carrier are introduced in your direct band gap semiconductor, then probability is high that electron holes recombine directly. Because see here in previously figure, we shown bottom of the conduction band and the top of the valence band are lined up, and no additional momentum is required for transition across the band gap, which is not the case in indirect band gap semiconductor. So that rate of direct recombination R is equal to beta NP, and is the number of electrons, P is the number of holes is there, and beta is the proportionality constant. Then the equilibrium recombination rate must be balanced by generation rate. That's why GTH is equal to RTH, and GTH is your generation rate at thermal equilibrium, recombination rate at thermal equilibrium. Here we take example like N-type semiconductor. Then P, beta, and N naught. In N-type semiconductor, we have carrier density of electrons, and P, that is your minority carriers with a carrier density in your in N-type semiconductor. And in this process, if we see, when the N naught and P N naught represent here electron hole density, before I told, which is in the N-type semiconductor at the thermal equilibrium. But when when we incident a light on semiconductor instead of a thermal energy to produce electron hole pairs rate, that is a G is shown, and the carrier concentration above their equilibrium values. Then we write this equation: R is equal to, is the recombination and generation rate become, we are showing here, R is a recombination, beta Nn Pn, where Nn is the majority in n-type semiconductor, majority charge carrier as the electron, and Pn represent here the in n-type semiconductor minority carriers are the holes. And this equation we write like this: delta N, which is difference between Nn and N naught, and delta P is equal to Pn minus Pn naught, and the generation rate G is equal to GL plus GTL, generation due to the light and due to this thermal energy, where delta N and delta P excess carrier concentration here, and to maintain here overall charge neutrality, the net rate of your change of hole concentration is given here: dpn by dt G minus R, and you know G minus R we can write GL plus DH minus R, but at steady state condition the equation dpn by dt at steady state condition is equal to 0, so that GL is equal to RGTH, and that is nothing but the U, and the U here represent the net recombination rate, and which is shown the equation. Then here the whatever the previously we have introduced the excess carriers which is in the semiconductor process, then we can explain here in terms of like the low level injection delta P, where P n naught which is less than that of your n naught, U is equal to this equation beta n naught delta P, and from this equation we can write the, we can calculate the net recombination rate, and after that we can calculate the in terms of your lifetime. But if you want the see here decay of photoexcited carriers here, when the first figure see A, that is n-type semiconductor material where under constant illumination of light, that is which is showing like in terms of photons, and then how the decay of this minority carriers holes with a time which is shown here, that we have steady state condition is there, and how the decay process or decay of holes with time dpn by dt we shown here at a steady state, and which corresponding tau of p is the carrier lifetime which is for the holes. And whatever this how we can calculate the excess carrier or measure the minority carrier lifetime, minority carrier lifetime, here is the minority carriers are the holes here, by using the photoconductivity, and this is a simple demonstration here showing here by using oscilloscope we can determine. And here as net recombination rate is proportional to the excess minority carrier concentration, and at E is equal to 0 mean at thermal equilibrium condition where net recombination rate is equal to 0, then equation U is equal to where Pn minus Pn naught divided by tau of P, where tau of P is the B, and whatever the previous equation 1 upon beta n naught we call as the lifetime of your minority carrier, that is in n-type semiconductor minority carriers are the holes are there. That's why we written this equation like U is equal to and tau of P is equal to this one. This means exactly the meaning of this is a transient response of your device after the sudden removal of a light source. When light is not incident on that, then how it is behaving, or how that is your excess minority carriers plays the important role. Here consider, here we already consider n-type sample material we shown and the previous figure. The light is inside electron hole pairs we generated probably that material, that is GL, and GL is equal to net recombination rate, we have Pn is equal to, and this is a time dependent expression or excess lifetime which is at the steady state here shown, and then we can write that equation in terms of Pn is Pn naught plus tau of Pgl, and as steady state and your boundary condition this dpn we can write like this equation, and finally we are getting equation solution of that Pn of t, that is a rate here Pn naught plus tau of Pgl exponential minus t by tau of P, which is here, and whatever this decay decay that is showing which is figure B, then of your minority carrier, that is holes, minority carriers are the holes, then minority carriers when recombining with the majority carriers and decay exponentially with time constant, which is shown in the previous figure, then whatever is important is that how we can measure this carrier lifetime of minority carriers. And by using the photoconductivity method as we previously shown in this figure C, that is by using the photoconductivity method, the excess carrier generated which is uniformly throughout the sample by light pulse and cause the momentary increase in the conductivity, and whatever this increase in conductivity is important in the drop of voltage across the sample when a constant current is passed. And from this, the decay of this conductivity can be observed by using oscilloscope, and it is very important to measure the lifetime of excess minority carriers which is introduced in your sample. Then these are the some constant already previous lectures I given, but this is very important. All the constant when we go solve the numericals, this is the one numerical which is based on uh, the uh, previous expression. A silicon sample with n naught with 10 to 14 per centimeter cube is illuminated with light, and 10 to 13 electron hole pairs per centimeter cube are created every microsecond. If your carrier lifetime of your electrons and hole is a 2 microsecond, then we have to find the change in the minority carrier concentration. Then by using before elimination of light here, then we can calculate easily by using law of mass action. The 9.65 10 to 9, which is the carrier concentration, carrier concentration value for a pure semiconductor, and by using after calculation you are getting 9.31 10 to 5 per centimeter cube. But after illumination, by you have introducing a minority carriers are the holes, then by using a previous equation we are calculating this, and finally you are getting 2 into 10 to 13 per centimeter cube. This type of numerical you go step by step and solve in your notebook. For this particular lecture I use these reference books to go through carefully all numericals with this. And the next lecture we'll see, because this lecture already gone through a direct recombination process, next lecture we'll see more about the indirect recombination process in the semiconductor material. Thank you.